And what's your date of birth?
3/14/20.
And what branch of the military did you serve in?
Army.
What years did you serve?
From 43 to 45.
Okay. And tell me your story.
Okay. We left Naples in November, or first of no, and went up on what they call the Veneto front. We got up there and run into some opposition. We had been sleepless for a couple of nights because we had got all wet. You couldn't put pup tents up because of the rocks and that in the mountains. But we're going up along this ravine, and here comes jury, comes in there strafing. Well, there's no place to go to but in this ravine. And the water's cold. Nobody went in the ravine. But we went up probably 3 or 4 miles beyond that. We turned right and started over to the town Javinia in Headley. And as we're going over there, there's small arms fire, and every time we'd have to stop, we jumped off below the road the first time. Then you realized that was a mistake, because if the Germans was there, you don't have no field view of them. If you're above the road, you can look up and you can see them coming, you know. But we went from there on up into the town, and later on, about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening, we moved down beyond there, and myself and our chief of detail, we wanted to go forward. They had sent a platoon of 504 men ahead that was going up through there. And we wanted to go with them because we could see what was happening. They're exposing us to enemy fire. But the lieutenant said, no, there ain't no place to go. So just after dark, just as it got dark, one round came in, and they was right on target. 400 rounds they put in there. They waited 10 minutes and put another 400 rounds in. And that's when I got hit. There was one shell got 4 of us. Well, I didn't realize that I was hit, but I helped this Paul Ardiarmit, Cosby, and I helped him up to this. They had set up an aid station in a little chapel up there. And we got up there, and this chief of detail, he was bleeding pretty bad. He got hit right in the hip. And the doctor looked at him and he didn't pay too much attention to him. Had one of his aides work on him, and he started working on me. And I didn't really realize that I had been hit. But he started lighting cigarettes and handing to me and everything, and then he tore my shirt off and started working on me. I guess I was pumping blood, that's what they called it. And so then they took, sometime after that, they moved us back into a basement, 2 of us. And then the Germans started coming back up in that town. And then when they came up there, this one other officer come along and told this captain that was with us, the 2 of us, he says, come on, Doc, we got to get out of here. The doc says, I'm not leaving these two men in here to die. And he stayed with us. Well, the one guy did die. And then our outfit ran the Germans out in the morning when it got daylight. And about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they come in there and they got me. And then they started the road down to the emergency hospital. And we get down there, but on the way down there, they kept stopping and dressing this thing because it was, they said, was pumping blood. Well, we gets down there, and I don't remember too much about it from then on until they started to take me in for the operation. And they had me laying on my stomach and looking at this operation ahead of me. And these two officers, they had the skin pulled back on a guy's head and was picking stuff out of it. And then there was a major and a captain. And this major had a fifth of old overholt. And the captain, had a fifth of four roses. And this nurse, Mary Nelson out of Orange, New Jersey, she says, don't let that booze bother you. She says, they're not alcoholic. She says, they've been working for 34 straight hours, and you're next. And she says, they still got one more after you. So I was operated on, and then I was from about 3 or 4 o'clock on that morning, I never come to till the following morning. And some officer come in and tried to talk to me a little bit. He said, you must be awful hungry, and he went and got me a bowl of soup, which put me at ease. But from then on, they took me into a hospital in Naples, and I was there for 2 or 3 days, and then they put us on a hospital ship, the Francis Shamrock, out of Ohio. They had closed up a hospital in Ohio and put that whole staff on that hospital ship. And we went to Oran. Well, I was in Oran. I was 120 days recouping, and I was supposed to be reclassified. And I says, no, I want to go back to my outfit. We had heard rumors they was going back to the States and go to the Philippines. So I thought, well, if they want to reclassify me, they can reclassify me when I get to the States. But that didn't happen. I just barely got back to the outfit, and he was going to Angio Beachhead. Well, I didn't get there because my medical records didn't catch up with me yet. But we spent a lot of time at Angio, and then they had moved the 82nd Airborne to England to be there for the invasion of Normandy. But being the 504 was at Angio, we never got around to England in time for Normandy. So they saved us or kept us, and we jumped in Holland. And we lost several men in there. We had one lieutenant that got hit, and he just pulled his gun out and shot himself. We had another friend of mine that's still living. He's 95 years old. He's from Massachusetts. He got a leg shot off in there. But, you you know, that was primarily the main part of my story.
That's good. That's good. What a story. My God. And
Well,
where did you get shot? Or
in the lung.
in